Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Today we have Dylan Katz. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Dylan Katz. I'm a senior at Brookline High School, and I'm a lacrosse captain and a goalie.
Nice. So with lacrosse, when did your season start?
So the season is going to start next Monday.
Next Monday.
Yep, tryouts.
Have you had anything leading up to this?
Yeah, so for the past 3 weeks, we've been doing captain's practices, been talking to the team, making sure as many people can get out and have some fun. People who are new, people who have been playing on the team. Our other captain, Ryan Wilson, comes out, and it's just a lot of fun.
Have you had to organize all of these practices on your own?
Well, yeah, our coach has been kind of just like saying we had a team meeting at the high school, and he said he was asking us if we could push for some captain's practices. So that's also been a driving factor for that. But yeah, we've been doing a great job on our group chat, just making sure we can get at least 20 kids out every single day.
When you are organizing all 20 people, what has been a useful strategy in figuring that out?
Well, so we use a Snapchat group chat. So we will say should we do a captain's practice here? Like this text if you can come, and we will do a captain's practice if we have 10 kids, but we really want to get out 20 to 30, just so we can get games constantly and have a lot of just make sure everyone's getting equal play time. And people who want to work on this, people who want to work on something else, make sure we can target those during the captain's practice.
Have you seen growth as a team throughout the preseason?
Yeah, actually, I feel like whoever's been coming to the captain's practice, who's ever been involved with the program before the season actually started, I feel like everyone's actually starting to gel, even though there's not an official team yet. But I feel like the kids who are coming, they're putting in the work, they're working hard. I feel like as of now, those kids will hopefully be on varsity, and it'll be the similar team that we had preseason going into the regular season.
Nice. Would you say the team, is it a lot of older people, or are there some freshmen?
So I'm pretty sure actually there is 3 seniors, I think.
That's it?
Me, Ryan Wilson, Max Delaney, and one of our players who's unfortunately hurt, Thomas O'Brien. So I think there's really 4, but 3 of them will be able to play this year.
And so there's only a few seniors. How does that dynamic work with the younger players and meeting them, learning how all that works?
Yeah, so I feel like there is a greater responsibility for being fewer seniors. We only have 2 captains, and there's 50 kids plus trying out. So in the team, our coach likes to put 25 kids on the team. So 2 captains, 23 other kids, plus 1 other senior. It's a lot, but I mean, we respect them, they respect us, and if we play our best, then they'll want to follow us. So we got to try 100% all the time. And I feel like what we do impacts what the younger kids also do on the field.
Do you remember a time when you said something and it seemed to click with a younger player or something like that?
So being a lacrosse goalie, I'm like the quarterback of the defense, and I have full vision of the field when they're trying to create some offensive plays, the other team. And so when I'm locked in. Let's say I got my person in front of me. It's called something called the one slide, and I have to project my voice telling the slide to stop a guy who's just coming in right at me. I just gotta say, you gotta go, and I'm always amped up. I'm always making sure everything I do is positive. I always want to make sure that when I'm saying something, that the younger kids understand that it's for the teams, for the better of the team, to help us win a game.
Right. So you're yelling at them, but you want them to know it's helpful yelling, not mean yelling.
Yeah, sometimes I do get a little out of hand, but it's more just you got this next time. I know I'm a little hyped up, but just understand that I want to win. I want to win.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Would you say there's a lot of crossover between lacrosse and another sport?
Yeah. Well, I guess you could say hockey. A lot of hockey players play lacrosse. A lot of lacrosse players play hockey, and a big thing is running versus skating is completely 2 different things. So those are really canceled. They're really different. Mm-hmm. But the main thing that's really similar is with a stick and a 2 sticks. So you have a hockey stick, you got a lacrosse stick, and they both use your hands, and your wrists, I guess. So
Right.
when you're like cradling a ball and when you're like passing, when you're stick handling a puck, it's there's a smoothness between the cradle of a lacrosse stick and the stick handling of a hockey stick that allows it just to be easier for someone who has good hand coordination or who's been playing one of those sports to coexist with the other sport. Even obviously you have to learn how to skate, but other than that, like they're pretty similar. You'll get better and better. I feel like if you've already played one sport that uses your hands more.
So with that crossover, hockey season just ended. How does playing hockey on the team with similar people
Oh yeah.
and spending all that time together affect your relationship, and how does that play out with lacrosse?
Okay, yeah. So I was a senior on hockey as a defenseman, and I unfortunately wasn't a captain, but I still felt obligated to be a leader as much as I could, even though I didn't have like the A or C on my chest. Um, and I feel like now going into lacrosse, being a captain, and like it's the first time being a captain, and obviously like leadership's a big thing. I have a big talking voice. I like to talk to people, but I like to be friendly. But I do feel like I have to pick up my I guess like my seriousness around the team now since I have a pretty big lead, pretty big team lead for a pretty big like program now at the high school, and I feel like there was a pretty big switch from not being a captain to being a captain. And I feel like doing some research on that is a good thing to do before you start your season, which mine starts in a week.
What kind of research have you been doing?
I'm more like I've been researching. We've been looking at things like what I should do as a captain, how involved should I be? If people ask a question, should I respond like right away? How should my responses be? Like should they be formal, semi-formal, like not formal at all? And I just want to be like the most like straightforward, hard and friendly captain that I can be to help our team win.
Is there someone that you're looking up to, like a former captain who showed you what to do?
Well, I feel like I'm just trying to be like my own captain, I guess. I don't really like look up to people. Well, I look up to people, and more like the case of I guess I never really thought about like a captain I looked up to. I feel like I'm trying to be like the best captain that I can be. I don't really think. Obviously, I've had many great captains, like for example, like Emmett Tien, Marcus Pace, Steve McDougal. But I feel like I just want to make my own captain. Like they all had their own way of being a captain, so I feel like I want to do that too.
You want to have your unique like spin on it?
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. Um, with that spin, how do you want to come across to your team? Like, what do you want in the future? What do you want someone to say about Dylan?
I want them to know that I was a brick wall goalie who they could trust when a shot came in. For like in lacrosse, there's a big thing that to score goals fast is the team shoots the ball at the goalie, and your defenseman has to trust you. So right as they shoot it, that defenseman starts running towards the other side of the field to the other goalie, the opposing team, and I'm ready to throw the ball to him to start a quick breakout to a quick goal. And so I want them to know that they could trust me, and that they knew that they were playing with like a great Brookline High School lacrosse goalie.
That's so nice. What do you think is the most important role as the captain?
Most important role of being the captain, I would say, is making sure that the team, like the players, young underclassmen, and the coaches, can talk to you, and they can put things on you that you can try to help them find an answer or solve the problem, and just be someone that if they need help, that you can answer that question.
So you're important for the communication aspect.
Yeah.
Is there a time that you remember from your lacrosse experience that like really showed you what it means to be on a team and like what makes a team so great?
So I started both the sports I play now. I started very late when I was a kid. Hockey when I was 10 years old. Everyone I knew started when they were like 2 or something like that. And lacrosse, I started freshman year. I made a long way from there, and um, I guess yeah. So freshman year, it was, I guess, my three hockey captains or my two hockey captains said we need a goalie, we need a backup, and we need one for next year when we leave. So I took that role. I was like, you know what, screw it, I'll do it. Just give me the pads and everything. And I thought it would be awesome. I didn't think it would be that bad at the beginning. I didn't think it was gonna be like, pain's not gonna be that bad. But freshman year, I went to a lacrosse captains, and I was a freshman then, so we had different captains and stuff like that. Hopped in net, took a ball that got fired at me like probably 70, 80 miles an
Oh,
hour off the shoulder,
that sounds so
and
painful.
it hurt, and it hurt a lot, a lot, a lot, and my whole arm was like bruised up and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't know if I can do this, but maybe I guess I didn't say that. I really liked it after that, but um, I guess saving the ball like made me like get hype, even though I was so bad back then. Like I still had a great time saving the ball. I'm not closing my eyes was a big thing. Biggest thing of a goalie is like the fear factor. So when a shot gets shot, your first intention is just to shut your eyes and not even like think about where the ball is going. But I didn't have that factor when I was a freshman, so I felt like I could keep doing lacrosse goalie, and I feel like I love it as more and more and more as I practice. And so our real goalie, he was a senior that year. His name was Gabe. He was out for the first game because he actually had torn his labrum in his shoulder.
Oh.
Yeah, so he got it fixed up, and he was coming back. And so I played our first varsity game that I ever played in as a freshman.
Wow.
Like I'd practiced for 2 weeks before that, and I was making saves. Like we played Plymouth North. I remember this game. We won 7-5, taking balls off the body, saving with the stick, and I mean, I just knew.
And you had just started lacrosse,
Started 2 weeks
really?
before that.
Wow, that's amazing.
I had a terrible stick. I was given a stick that's been in like lacrosse program for probably 5 years before me, and it was terrible. But I was making saves, and every single save that I had, I'd get hype, and it was just like it made me want to stay in the net and not leave.
That's so cool. Would you say starting, so you said a lot of the people you know started your sports so much earlier.
Yep.
Do you remember when you were younger feeling like you were behind or like you missed something? And how did you like combat that feeling?
I never looked at it like that. I was a kid. I was good at learning things really fast, and I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. I was learning things. I like to learn things really fast. I always have great determination when it comes to doing something that I actually or I'm really interested in. So when I was a kid, I was 10. I got all my equipment, and I went to this skills session when I was a kid, and I was 10 years old at the time, and all the people I was with were like 3 and 2.
Oh, wow.
And there was a big age difference, but my skill level was not good enough to compete with 10-year-olds then. So my mom has a video of me, but I was terrible. I could skate, could barely stick handle, and these little kids were better than me, honestly. Like I wasn't that good. But I didn't stop playing after that. My mom actually asked me this, and she keeps asking me today, like it's crazy, but she asked me, do I really want to play this sport because of the age difference? And I was like, yeah, I do. And it's like I had a lot of fun doing it. So, and then the practice was a lot. I practiced almost every single day that I could, and it costs a lot of money. But I mean, we were able to pay for it, luckily, and we got like skill sessions, skill packages. So I was able to like get cheaper prices for more sessions, and I just practice that I did was able to make me who I am for a senior in lacrosse.
You like persevered all the way through.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna wrap up now. If you had one piece of advice to a future captain, even though you're just starting out your season, but given what you've already experienced, what would that be?
Get those communication skills up and don't back down from anything. Always stay determined. Do something better.
Nice. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That's it. Okay.